It's day 122 of the bulk, and we are at 180.8 pounds to start off the day. Or well, no, not start off the day, but what we're doing at the beginning of the day is making some pre right here, just that I have it for after classes. And today, what we're doing a little bit different is on top of having the pre, I'm going to be mixing in some liquid glycerol. I'm going to try to do about exactly 1 ounce. I might go a little bit under, a little bit over, but I'm going to weigh it because it is a calorie source. It is 150 calories and 35 grams of carbs, which is a good thing to have before a workout. So what I've heard is I need about I need a gram of carbs per every 10, or I need a gram of carbs per every kilogram I weigh, I think, is the thing. So I remember I did it out and I need like 70 grams of carbs. This gets us 35. We'll just have to get the other grams of carbs before the workout in that meal. So we're going to change up how we do our food a little bit. We're going to try to get our carbs earlier in the day, along with some protein, and then we'll just be getting like the rest of the protein during supper pretty much. But yeah, that should be pretty nice. Hopefully it'll give us even more energy in the gym and make us perform better, in turn making us get jacked a little bit quicker, which is in the end the main goal about like all of this pretty much. So yeah, I will be seeing you guys at lunch. To start off lunch, we're having 6.56 ounces of pork loin. Not terrible. I'm gonna have that. Then I'm just gonna try to find some way to get into the carbs we need and get some more protein. The next thing we're gonna be having is 7 ounces of chicken on this little like lettuce, jalapeno, tomato, I don't know what to call it, like a little veggie bowl type shit. I just kind of estimated the calories for that because I feel like with those 3 ingredients, they're not really too necessary. So I estimated about like 40 calories, I think, for like all that. But then we're also going to be having a steakhouse ranch burger that has a lot of carbs. Probably because of how big the bun is, but that gets us like pretty much all the carbs we need. If we include the glycerol we're going to be having before the workout too. And I've also been bringing around a like whole ass jug of water now, just kind of drinking that periodically to make sure I get enough water before the workout as well, just in case. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for lunch today, honestly. So I'll see you guys at the gym. So they have like a press thing, but it's honestly pretty weird to use. I couldn't figure it out. So we're just gonna be doing squats instead. Just 2 sets of squats before I move on to the leg extensions. I have the weight set up for high bar squats, but I think next week, if I can't figure out how to get that leg press working still, I'm just gonna switch to doing a low bar squat on Mondays, and then keeping the high bar squats for Fridays. Also, last time we got 9, so let's get at least 10. I need a lifting belt though. I like lifting belts. Oh shit. I feel like I forget to grab a belt like every time, but it helps my back not die, which is nice, so I want to have it. Man, definitely a little bit difficult, but 10 reps, not bad. Now for this set, I want to get at least 8, which shouldn't be too unrealistic with what we got before. Yeah. Let's hit the weight, I guess. Oh man. I just realized something. Yeah. All right. That's gonna be it for the squats. But I had a 25 and a 5 on one side, and a 10 and a 5 on the other. Which, oops. So that's unfortunate. I think getting 10 for that first set, even with it being unbalanced, I think that's a sign that we could go up to 65 instead. So I'll do that next time. And try going for 8. But yeah, that was a little bit of a pretty big mistake on my part. I don't know, I didn't realize that sooner. So we're gonna go hit leg extensions, or no, we're gonna hit hamstrings first, then leg extensions. I don't have a laying leg curl, which I do prefer a little bit more, but that's just kind of whatever. So I did just some tests or feeler, 1 reps to kind of see. I waited till I got up to 1 rep where it was still pretty difficult to get it fully down, even for that first one. So that should be a good indicator. that this will be a good weight for us to be doing. I can't really use straps with the seated ones, which is kind of why I don't like them. If they have little handles here that I could like strap onto and really pull down like you can for like a lot of like extensions, I think I'd like them more. But that's whatever. That's with the laying ones, you don't really have the problem of like coming up off the seat. So I do prefer those a little bit more, but this should still be fine. Let's just try to get as many as we can to failure. Alright, so that was about 7 reps to failure. We did like 2 little partials, so not bad. So I'll try to get 5 or 6 clean reps for the next set, and this should be a good little starting point to work up on for the leg curl. In the next set, after each failure, we're gonna drop set it. Second set. So we're trying to get, I think, what was it, 5 or 6 clean reps, and then drop sets to failure. I think, one other thing I don't like about this is that I feel like just holding the handles doesn't help enough, because I feel like I need to like push it down into my legs to really keep them in place, since I can't like hold myself down to the chair. But I don't know, it's really hard to get a secure placement on this, like even holding onto the handles. Alright, that was pretty good hamstring burn, which, I mean, the burn or the pump doesn't really like actually equate to any real muscle growth stimulus, but it can kind of like happen within the same set of circumstances. So just because you feel a burn and just because you feel a pump doesn't mean there's great muscle growth, but it also doesn't mean that there wasn't. And you know, if you can at least kind of feel a little bit of a burn in it, that's one way that at least I can really tell that at least I hit that muscle. So yeah, now we're gonna do some leg extensions. All right, leg extensions. This, it's kind of weird to get the straps on this one, because this one that does have like the like grippy stuff on the handle, I have to make it tight before I put it on. But then with the one without, I can just kind of wrap it around and tighten it. So in a weird way, the one that doesn't have the texture for added grip is actually a little bit easier for me to get a good grip on. I don't know. I definitely went fast in those. I was going probably a little bit too fast, for sure. But yeah, I think doing double leg for this just doesn't really work well. Still got the exhaustion a little bit, but I mean, I raised the weight from single leg, but it just didn't get that same level of exhaustion. So I think I'm gonna try just doing, for my second set, a lower weight with one leg, because then we can actually do like the drop set method too, or well, pseudo drop set type thing, where we switch from single to double leg. All right, so single leg extensions. Hopefully this gets us a little bit more, gets us exhausted in a better way. I guess, I don't know. In a better rep range where it will actually feel good. Muscular exhaustion as well as muscular hypertrophy. I think doing the single leg extensions to failure and then doing a double leg just feels a lot better. Well, honestly, it does slightly hurt my knees a little bit with the single leg extensions. So might be getting near the time I might need to be getting knee sleeves, which I already want to get like actual wrist wraps for the low bar squats and for bench. So that might be two things to invest in soon. The last two sets we're going to be doing are just some standard cable crunches. Nothing crazy. I've gotten to the point now where the weight with cable crunches, I upped the weight by 5, but the only way I was able to up it was by adding the little things on top. So I think with this machine at least, we're only going to be able to go up an additional 10 pounds from this. Or at least, or maybe 15. It depends on how much I can get to fit on a stack. But let's just hit these, try to get it with a nice contraction at the bottom of the movement. Yeah. I only got 2 or less reps with the additional 5 pounds, but for the last couple, I wasn't able to hold the contraction at the bottom for as long, which is a good thing. It means we were getting exhausted from it. So we're gonna do one more set with that weight. Really focus on holding the contraction. I think I might try to go for like a 3-second contraction at the bottom, which would mean that whenever we do less than 3 seconds, that'd technically be like a partial set after, but I mean, I'll still count those as reps. I'm just gonna hold it at 3 seconds until I can't. All right, final set. We have Enter Sandman playing, so should be a pretty good set. Whew. Alright, that was a good set. You definitely feel the abs Really not allowing themselves to contract like that again, which is nice. But yeah, let's go see if the place we like to do our pump checks is open. Hopefully it is. And if so, I'll see you guys there. All right. So, leg pump check. We went pretty hard on those exercises. I'm feeling pretty well pumped, as well as having that glycerol. I'm really hoping that this this pump is gonna be freaky. And I think you guys might have noticed, but I didn't really do calf work. I've brought it up a little bit before, but I mean, I'm walking around with a 20-pound backpack, and it's quite a lot of walking around campus, which is honestly enough to stimulate a fair amount of calf stimulus. Definitely not as good as if we were to be like individually training it with weights, but it's just kind of hard in this place to do, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping if I could get that, find out how to use that like weird hack squat, leg press, cable or normal crunch, body weight crunch, weird like mix thing that I could do with them. That I could do some calf exercises on there, but I couldn't really figure out how I would do that if I could. So I just think we're probably not going to, honestly. Also, I'm gonna adjust this camera real quick a little bit. Gonna have that there, and then put this a little bit lower. I think that should be better, as long as we're standing back here. But let's see, a little reveal of the quad pump. So this is probably about as unflexed as I can be, kind of squatting like that. And then, I mean, I'd say that's a pretty decent pump. You can see like the individual muscles, some separation, even like up along these sides and a little bit at the top, which is really good. Our quads are definitely growing quite a lot. They're actually so pumped. I'm kind of struggled to pull up the shorts, because I have like 2 layers, the secondary compression layer under like the baggy part. It's quite difficult to pull up, but I mean, actually, we can see a little bit of the pump within the hamstrings as well, which is quite nice. Now let's see how the abs are looking after that. It was a pretty, I'd say those 2 sets of crunches actually did stimulate them fairly well. Just a matter of how well we'll be able to see them under the fat, which, I mean, not crazy well, but they are still semi-visible, which is more than I could have said prior. But man, that like individualization, the individual like that line up there, you can really see the outline of the quads. This body fat is really good. So I think that's definitely just genetically, we don't store a lot of fat, or not we, I genetically don't store a lot of fat in my quads, which, I mean, is nice to be able to see the definition. And I think just due to how sizable our quads are, once we get cut down, I think our quads are going to be insanely well visible, and that will be pretty good. I mean, with the classic division, they do want a very balanced physique, and where I think a lot of people lack is the legs. So if I can give a slightly above average upper body level, and maybe even like a pretty insane definition and size in the lower level, I think we have a chance at placing fairly high. Because, I mean, as long as there's not like somebody with the genetics on par with the quad father himself, Mr. Tom Platt, we have a fairly decent chance of having some of, if not the best legs on stage. Or maybe not best legs, but best quads on stage, which would be nice to be the best in at least something on our first show. Obviously, the whole thing with bodybuilding is you never know who's gonna show up. I mean, fucking Sam Sulik could fucking show up to the same amateur competition that I'm going, or well, actually he couldn't, because I'm gonna try to go to a natural one, but still, somebody on that level who's been training that long naturally, obviously they'd be a little bit smaller if they'd be natural, but they'd still have quite a lot more size and definition, I think, on me if they were seriously training for a much longer time, which is part of the reason why, I mean, bodybuilding is an old man sport. But I think we can still bring a pretty good package to an amateur stage, especially with how we've been putting on muscle. I think we're still putting it on at a pretty rapid rate. I know there's the term like newbie gains, but I mean, it's been, what now? Like a year and a half of taking this really serious. And our progression has not been slowing down too much. We're still putting on a fair amount of muscular strength and size, which is really nice. I mean, I think the way that we train with the progressive overload, as long as that keeps working for me, like throughout this entire bulk and then through the cut. And obviously through the cut, we might not be able to progressively overload as well. We might have to drop it down from going up in reps or weight like every single exercise to maybe once every 2 or 3. But I mean, if we can at least even just maintain the same amount of strength and cut down on some fluff after we get up to like 200 and keep going at this current progression rate, we'll be looking pretty good, pretty nutty. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm gonna go do some homework now, so I will see you guys when I have some supper. To start off our supper, we are having 2 chicken taco salad things, which have 560 calories and 59 grams of protein with 2 of them. So not bad, they look pretty good. It has spinach, lettuce, green onions, tomatoes, and obviously the chips, which are some carbs. So it has a pretty decent amount of carb sources, and it looks pretty tasty. So I'm really gonna have this. I might have 2 more, and that would get us pretty much almost there on our protein, and then we could have some more higher calorie density food. Next thing we're having for lunch is 16 ounces of cilantro lime rice and 14 ounces of the taco shredded chicken, which will get us all the way to our protein goal and get us about 100 calories under maintenance, which means we have about 500 to 700 calories to just eat whatever we want. So pretty dope. So the final thing we're going to be having is this entire bag of sweet and spicy chili rice cakes. And then we are going to have about 150 calories worth of peanut butter M&Ms. And then, like always, at night, I'm going to have 7 grams of creatine, my ashwagandha, and my fish oil. And now I have some extra stuff that I'm adding. So I'm having a mushroom complex, a greens powder, some digestive enzymes, so, probiotic, and some sea moss. So quite a lot of stuff, but it should all help with us being even better health and fitness wise. Also, I'm going to be playing some Space Marines too, because that's it's been my little game I've been playing recently. Pretty fun. I would recommend, honestly. But yeah, that's going to be all for today. I will see you all tomorrow. Ciao.